Hello everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel, and today we are going to be looking at Mesika's Loops Legend, a very good download slash physical product that I think is great for people that are new to loops, people that have had loops but have been a bit afraid of using it or bringing it to their gigs. I think this is going to change your mind on that, or even some veterans that are looking for some new routines or some new ways of using loops. I think this is a great download, so I can't wait to talk more about it. Let's roll the intro and get straight into the review. Perfect, so you decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about loops. Now, what are loops and what is Loops Legends? So loops are essentially a device or a utility device that's going to let you make things levitate, make things go from a hand to another, make things jump from the ground, animate a deck, animate object. Is essentially a tool in doing that, and Loops Legend is essentially an advancement on that in terms of giving you more tuition, more information, more guidance as to the complete package and utility that loops offer. So for those that are unfamiliar with loops and what they do, let me do a quick performance of what essentially you could do with loops. So one of the things you could do is, for example, I don't have a spectator, but you could borrow a spectator's glasses. You can take them, you place them right here on the table or on the ground, and then you would tell them to focus their energy on the glasses, just like that. And if they focus hard enough, you could just make the glasses completely flip over. You hand them back to the spectator, they can place it on, nothing to be seen, and nothing up your sleeves and your hands, all of that. So that's essentially what you could do, or some of the routines that you could do with Loops Legend. So let's dive straight into where you buy this, how much does it cost, and what do you get. So you can pretty much buy this at any of your favorite magic retailers. I got mine from ALAKAZAM Magic, so if you want to get yours there as well, there's a discount code down below. But this will set you back $25 US, or around 32-ish Canadian dollars, or 25 pounds. And what you get with this is essentially four things. You're getting four things in your package. One, you're getting kind of this thing, which was something that Mesika previously published in his Inner Circle download, but you're getting another one of this, which is essentially a loops holder in the form of a credit card, which means you can put this in your wallet and it's gonna be seamless in there. You're also going to get a pack of loops in your packaging, and then you're also going to get two watchable videos. One of them is the usual video that Mesika sends with any pack of loops, so you're going to get that. That's not something relatively new, but what's interesting to you is the Loops Legends video, which is a video with Mesika, Anna de Guzman, Garrett Thomas, it also has Mark Calabrese and a bunch of other magicians in there, and they're giving you the routines that they use in their daily lives or in their performing environment with loops, and it gives you great tuition. And on top of all that, I think that this is the most comprehensive guide that Mesika has done in terms of how to preserve loops, how to hook them up, how to use them efficiently, how to make them last longer. I think this is the most comprehensive guide he's made on this topic. And I think that because of that, and because of the way that everyone talks about it in the routines, I've found that I've been using loops more than I have been before. I think the routines here are great. Some of them use glasses, as I mentioned. Some of them use decks of cards. Some of them use singular cards. So for example, you could take a credit card, hold it by your fingertips, make it float, catch it back, give it back to your spectator. There's another routine from Anna de Guzman where you use a straw. So you can take a straw, you hold it here, you hold your hand here, and then you go just like this, and the straw goes from one hand to the other. You can do a routine with a ring where you take a ring, you let it go, it freezes in midair, they can see it, and then with a snap, it falls back in your hand. So there's a bunch of routines that they go over here. There's many more as well that teach you how to use loops effectively, interestingly, and in new ways. So this is a very good download. So having said all of this, let's get into difficulty. What is the difficulty of this? The difficulty of the routines in Inner Circle range from beginner to intermediate. And the intermediate ones are not hard because it's sleight of hand, but you will need to learn the different ways, the more intricate ways of using a loop. Because most of the routines are ways where you use the loop kind of in the motions of it. So for example, the glasses one, right? If you look at a pair of glasses and you take them and to place them down, that's what you would do, right? You would either do it like this, which is a bit awkward, so it makes more sense to take them like this and place them nicely with care. So in that regard, I'm doing all the moves that I need to do to perform the effect, right? But there are other routines that will require a bit more intricate setups, not things that you have to prepare beforehand, but setups where you will need to maybe learn some moves, right? Maybe learn the specific ways in which you have to twist it, or what finger placements you need for specific times. So some of them are going to be a bit more hard, but nothing really complicated here. Most of it is easy nonetheless, and most of it is intuitive. So it's nothing too hard on this download. I think even if you're someone new to loops, you will be performing a lot of these routines relatively in minutes, in my honest opinion. So nothing too difficult, but some of them, for example, the ones that use rings are a bit more complicated than some other ones. Okay, so keep that in mind. So having said that, what about practicality? So what will you need in order to perform the effects with loops? Well, you're going to need loops. This you can place it in your wallet, so you have refills if ever you need, if ever a loop by any chance snaps or anything, you have refills in your wallet. So this takes basically no pocket space. And for those that know loops, you know that I've had loops on my hand the entire time of this video. It's been in your face the entire time, and you probably know. But for those that are new to loops and you don't know, well, I am carrying the gimmick on me right now. It's basically in full view, but you cannot see it because that's what's great about these. So yeah, in terms of carrying things around with you, it's zero because the loop is basically on you the whole time. And the way you perform loops is with borrowed objects. You can use borrowed glasses. As I mentioned, you can use a straw. You can use a borrowed credit card or a library card or whatever you want. You could use a borrowed ring. You could use polos or lifesavers. You could use basically whatever, or a deck of cards. So things that you borrow. For example, in Mark Calabrese's routine, he uses the lemon or the lime on a cocktail glass, which is also impromptu. So a lot of these things are very impromptu and very kind of situational. So in terms of carrying things around with you, you don't really have to carry anything with you. Just pop this in your wallet in case your loop breaks to have extras, and then the loop is just on your hand as it is on mine and has been this entire tutorial. So carrying wise, it's great. Angle wise, it is also pretty much 360. For most of the routines, there's no issue regarding that. 360. These are routines that can be done sitting down, standing up, depending on some of the routines. Some of them require you to be standing up, but most of them can be done rather standing up, standing down. It doesn't matter. In that regard, in terms of inspectability, well, you're borrowing their item, so they shouldn't have anything to want to inspect. And even if they look at your hand, there's nothing really to see. So inspectability, there's no issue regarding that. Reset. Also, what's nice is with loops, 90% of the routines here reset by themselves. So essentially you do the routine, and then as you go to the next table, you're basically reset. For example, the one with the glasses, as the glasses tip over, the routine resets itself. So I could redo the routine at a moment's notice if I want. So there's no reset regarding loops as well. So regarding practicality, it is very, very good. Moving on to where would you perform? So where would you perform loops? Loops is something that works very, very well in table hopping, strolling, cocktails, or street magic, bars, restaurant, things like that. It works very well in that regard because it's very spontaneous, right? So if you're at a restaurant and you see that they have like straws, you can take a straw from there and you go at a table and you show them something with a straw. Or for example, if someone has glasses, you can ask them for their glasses. Or if you see that they have on the table a small card, you can ask them, can I just borrow that a moment? Look, it levitates, and then it doesn't, you give it back. So it's very good in kind of impromptu settings. So for me, I've never had places where I've been like, okay, I really want to go here, and after I perform that and that routine, I perform a loops routine. Loops have always for me been something that I've had with me, and when the opportunity arises, I do. However, I do know some people do use loops for specific routines. For example, in this download, you're going to get Colin McLeod. That's going to teach you his PK touches routine with loops, which is very practical. But that is a routine that is established, that takes time to practice, and that you do not necessarily at a moment's notice. You can even do it in a show on stage, right? So yes, you can do things with loops on stage or parlor, but they're going to be more intricate pieces, more mentalist, maybe pieces of PK touches, or maybe something with silverware where you spin something on a table. So yes, you can pretty much use this anywhere, but it will also depend on kind of the routine that you do and kind of the situation that you're in. So having said all of this, what are the positives and negatives of Loops Legends? What are the negatives of Loops Legends? And honestly, it's hard to find a negative because everything here is very, very good. I think that it's probably the most comprehensive set of loops, magic, and tutorial that you're ever going to get. So I don't see many negatives. Maybe the only negative is that if you're new to loops and maybe they start breaking on you a bit easier, you're going to start to get scared of performing the routines here. So that's not really an issue of the product itself. It's more that you have to practice the movements and rewatch maybe the tutorial a bit. But yeah, that's kind of the only negative. There's not many negatives here. This is a great, great release. So moving on to the positives. What's the positives? One, the props you're getting loops, very good quality. You're getting this, which is very good quality. The instructional video is incredible. It is great. The routines that you get are great. Using loops as a utility device is great. It's practical, it's visual, it's efficient, it's versatile. It's basically hidden in plain sight. You can get it as a moment notice. You can do it impromptu or in a routine. It's great. There's so much good going for this. This is a very good product and a very good set of instructions. So that's all I have to say, to be honest, about Loops Legends. So would I recommend Loops Legends, and what would I rate it out of 10? Would I recommend it? And yes, I think I would, because I was someone that has always been kind of scared of using loops, because every single time that I use them, I would do like 2 or 3 routines and then they would fall or break. And I think that kind of discouraged me for using them. But since I bought the Loops Legends set, I think I've gotten more confident in using loops. I've used them more. They break less and less. So I think that's more as to the quality of tutorial that you're getting here, rather than the quality of the product. So I do recommend this. If you're someone that's wanting to use loops and get confident about it, I think this is a great product. If you're someone that already has loops or uses loops a lot, I think just paying because a pack of loops is like $10. So paying $15 for the extra instructions and routines that are on offer, I think is definitely worth it as well. So I think this is a worthy buy for anyone, whether you're really proficient with loops, whether you're a beginner with loops, or whether you're someone that wants to redabble in using loops in their routines. I think you're not going to go wrong. I heavily recommend this. What would I rate it out of 10? I'm going to rate Loops Legends a 9.25 on 10. I think that it is absolutely great. I think that's a worthy purchase. And I think that no one that's going to buy this is going to be let down with what they're getting. An excellent, excellent product. So that's all I have to say about Loops Legends. I hope that you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If not, I shall see everyone in my next set of reviews. Have a great day and see you in the next one.